This bill seeks to grant universal social pension for senior citizens, whether or not they are indigent. House Bill number 2485. This bill seeks to grant universal social pension for senior citizens, whether or not they are indigent. Older persons have contributed immensely to the nation in all manner of ways throughout their lives by paying taxes, contributing to the growth of the economy, and raising future generations of the Filipinos. Thus, this bill seeks to amend the social pension provision of RA 9994 and RA 11916 and expand the coverage of social pension to all senior citizens while indexing the current benefit amount to inflation. Mr. Chair, this bill is earnestly sought. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Kong.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Next, we have House Bill 3137 by the Honorable Rodolfo Ambong M. Ordanes, an act entitled an act honoring and granting additional benefits of Filipino senior citizens, amending for the purpose Republic Act Number 994, otherwise known as an act granting additional benefits and privileges to senior citizens, further amending Republic Act Number 7432 as amended, otherwise known as an act to maximize the contribution of senior citizens to national building, grant benefits and special privileges, and for other purposes.
May I, for the record, sponsor House Bill 3137, entitled an act honoring and granting additional benefits to Filipino senior citizens, amending for the purpose Republic Act Number 994, otherwise known as an act granting additional benefits and privileges to senior citizens, further amending Republic Act Number 7432, as amended otherwise known as an act to maximize the contribution of senior citizens to national building, grant benefits and special privileges, and for other purposes. Likewise, Mr. Chair, may I request that its explanatory note serve as its sponsorship. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Manifestation granted. Let the explanatory note of House Bill number 3137 serve as its sponsorship speech.
Next, Mr. Chair, we have House Bill 3275, authored by the Honorable Representative Marie Bernadette G. Escudero from the 1st District of Sorsogon, entitled an act granting universal social pension to senior citizens, appropriating funds therefore and for other purposes.
Mr. Chair and honorable colleagues, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Let my explanatory notes serve as my sponsorship speech. However, if I may be allowed to say a few things. Mr. Chair, the country currently has over 12 million senior citizens. According to studies, social pension beneficiaries account for nearly half of the senior citizen population. Having said that, the vast majority of them are still unprotected by this social safety net. While qualified beneficiaries are entitled to a monthly stipend of 1,000 pesos, it does not reach all of the poor, particularly those with low income who work in the informal sector. The intent of this bill is straightforward: to provide a universal pension that would close the coverage gap and strengthen the foundation of the nation's pension system. Over the course of their lives, our elders have made numerous contributions to the nation, such as paying taxes, fostering economic growth, and raising future generations of Filipinos. Providing them with a universal social pension would undoubtedly acknowledge not only their contributions to society, but also their contributions to nation building. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Next, we have House Bill 3642, authored by the Honorable Representative Patrick Michael D. Vargas, entitled an act granting universal social pension to senior citizens, further amending Republic Act Number 7432 as amended by Republic Act Number 994 and Republic Act Number 11916, appropriating funds therefore and for other purposes.
Mr. Chair, on behalf of Representative Patrick Michael Vargas, may respectfully move that the explanatory note for House Bill 364 to be adopted as his sponsorship speech. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Kong.
On behalf of Honorable
Mr.
Christine-
Chair, on behalf of Representative Alexi Chutor, I would like to sponsor her bill, House Bill number 5041. Let her explanatory note be my sponsorship speech. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Okay, thank you.
That is all for now, Mr. Chair, Your Honor.
Thank you, Comsec. May we now hear the comments or position of our invited resource persons on the universal social pension measures in this order. The DSWD, Department of Finance, Department of Budget and Management, GSIS, SSS, OSCA, and PSA. For the agency's representative, kindly state your full name and designation for proper identification. Thank you. You may now proceed. The representative from DSWD.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chair. This is Miramel Laksa po,
Walang.
OIC Assistant Director.
Ms. Miramel Laksa, good afternoon.
Yes, sir. Kong, magandang hapon po.
Nakamute po yata kayo. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. You may proceed.
Naririnig na po ako, Kong?
Apo, meron na.
Yan. Magandang hapon po sa ating lahat. And of course,
Magandang hapon po.
on the part of the DSWD, Mr. Chair, definitely we fully support those various House bills that were mentioned a while ago. But please allow us, Mr. Chair, to provide 3 major recommendations for us to better improve those House bills that were presented earlier. As also mentioned by our honorable chairperson, I think some of the proposed House bills that were presented earlier, in terms of some of its provisions, ay nakasama man na po sila doon sa ating newly enacted law, which is Republic Act 11916, which is an act increasing the social pension of indigent senior citizens and appropriating funds therefore. Kaya nga po ang hinihiling sana namin, unang-una sa lahat, if we could possibly harmonize or include certain provisions of those House bills in the draft implementing rules and regulations of RA 11916 that is currently being drafted and spearheaded by our National Commission of Senior Citizens. And second, Mr. Chair, we also respectfully recommend to this committee for further consultation with our Department of Budget and Management as to the proposed subsidy covering all senior citizens in terms of its possibility of funding as well as sustaining the funds for the implementation of our proposed universal coverage of our senior citizens for the social pension. And while we fully support all of these bills that really seeks to provide our 100% support to our senior citizens, in case these House bills will be enacted into law, we further respectfully recommend, Mr. Chair, that the Universal Social Pension Program be implemented po by our local government units through their local funding to cover those who are not yet covered by the DSWD's social pension program. As we could note, Mr. Chair, and based on our continuous validation of senior citizens, given na rin po yung mga grievances na natatanggap din po namin, there are currently around 540,577 waitlisted na mga senior citizens that could possibly be eligible for the existing social pension program. So if there will be a law that will be passed, that will cover all senior citizens, kaya nga po yun aming recommendation, Mr. Chair, that this will now be implemented by our local government units. And lastly, Mr. Chair, to change lang po DSWD to NCSC, for the National Commission of Senior Citizens as the implementing agency for all of these recommendations po natin, yung mga House bills na yon, given that we already have RA 11350, which is the law that creates the National Commission of Senior Citizens, wherein parts of its mandate po is that all functions, programs, projects, and activities being undertaken by the DSWD in terms of formulation, implementation, and coordination of social welfare and development policies and programs for the poor, vulnerable, and disadvantaged senior citizens shall be transferred to the National Commission of Senior Citizens. So, I think that is all po on the part of the DSWD, Mr. Chair, and these were all submitted po through our official position paper last October 18, 2022. Maraming salamat po, Mr. Chair.